Hi there. Welcome to Healing Through Your Story. I'm Leslie Karen Hammond, known as the Empowering Story Whisperer. And boy, have I got a hot topic for you this evening. Let's talk intimacy. Now, before we dive into this, I need to warn you, just in case you were expecting a discussion about physical intimacy, that is not what this is. However, we're going to be diving into and exploring an intimacy which is so much stronger than a physical intimacy. If you think about physical intimacy, it is so short-lived. It is such an incredible high that it isn't something most people can sustain for any length of time. And furthermore, it's not like most of you can just go and enjoy yourselves in the middle of the day. So the invitation this evening is for you to take a look at intimacy in a completely different light. So what do I mean when I say let's talk intimacy? Well, there is a connection that happens between people that is so profound, so moving. In fact, it's really beyond words. It is a kind of intimacy where someone can feel themselves being seen. And for those who aren't used to that, it can get to the point where they have to pull back because they're not used to being appreciated or honored in that way. Last month, I had one of the most exquisite experiences ever with a woman who I was just introduced to. We knew each other only by first name. And at the end of this event that we had, it was, well, you might have seen a post on that. It was a circle that was done. And she and I exchanged the most intense, beautiful, intimate gaze into one another's eyes. It was as though we knew each other from lifetimes ago. There was no need for words. There was clearly a bond that happened pretty much instantaneously. And that's one of the kinds of intimacy that I want to invite you to explore. So imagine how beautiful it could be if you had an experience with someone, and I'm going to get just a little bit closer to the camera here, where someone looked into your eyes with complete acceptance, with love, with reverence, and appreciated you for the extraordinary human being that you are. And what if you could feel that love and appreciation coming not only out their eyes, but from their heart and from their energy field? A radiant smile takes on a whole new meaning. So can you imagine how wonderful that would feel? Who doesn't hunger for that kind of intimacy? Who doesn't hunger to truly be seen in the way that they feel? Now, if for whatever reason feeling beautiful and feeling powerful and feeling grounded isn't a day-to-day thing for you, then play with those realms and pretend, if necessary, just for a little while. In fact, I challenge you to find an intimacy partner, someone that you can connect with. And In some cases, it's almost easier to do this with someone that you don't know because you haven't got history in there, kind of making things a little foggy. There's no concern about previous judgment. It's almost like a complete clean slate. Now, I'm not suggesting that you go out to a coffee shop and randomly find someone and say, hey, let's get intimate, because of course they would get the wrong idea. But start with a friend, perhaps. Start with someone, and I mean, if there's a loved one that you can do this with, then by all means, please experience the richness of this with a loved one. And just sit in front of them for a few moments and let your face soften and your body soften so that you're not feeling aggressive by sitting up too straight or shoulders back. Just relax into the gaze and open your heart. So set the intent before you sit down and engage with this person. Set the intent you're going to open your heart and you're going to feel them and appreciate them. And you're going to allow them to feel your appreciation for them. So it's almost as though your heart is going to be so bubbling and so filled with love, it feels like it's going to burst. And also let that come out your eyes and gaze into this other person's eyes. Now, in the process of bearing witness to them feeling appreciated, there may also be an instance where this other person suddenly feels vulnerable and may begin to fidget or blink excessively or break the gaze and turn away because it feels so intense for them. That's all right. Hold space for them. Let them know that it's okay. And if it's appropriate and you want to put your hands on their shoulders, by all means do so. If it feels more comfortable to hold their hands in your hands or to hold hands somehow, touch hands, touch palms, whatever works for you, then by all means explore that. But I invite you to incorporate this kind of a practice into your interactions with people closest to you. Now, much in the way that truly listening to someone is the equivalent of psychological error, according to Stephen Covey, which I firmly believe, truly seeing someone can make such an enormous difference. Can you imagine being a child who is normally judged and doesn't feel worthy? They don't feel like they can do anything right. Can you imagine what kind of a transformation a young person would have if someone was to sit and look at them with a loving eye and with a full heart and to let them know without words how much they're appreciated? And furthermore, can you imagine what it would be like if a child experienced that 7 days in a row, 14 days in a row, 30 days in a row? You would see an extraordinary difference. Now, of course, it's important that you have a willing person who is agreeing to be just as open, because you can't have a wall up in front of you and only let people in just a little bit. This is really an all or nothing thing. And if it gets too intense, well, then that's fine. But at least you gave it a go and you experienced something divine, something pure, something beautiful, even if it only lasted for 10 seconds or 30 seconds. This is like building a muscle. It is something that it takes time to get used to that. Now I could easily stare into someone's eyes for an indefinite period of time. Chances are they'll be the one to break the gaze first, but it wasn't always like that. There was a time when I was the first one to break the stare because I didn't want to let anyone in that deep. I wasn't ready. There was too much here I was still working on that I didn't want anybody else to see. So another form of intimacy is emotional intimacy. And this has got to do with having a conversation with someone where you share something that's really meaningful to you, or perhaps something that's been on your mind, or something that you're afraid of. And when you can do that, it will help you grow. When you can be that sounding board for someone else, you'll help them grow. And being able to listen to someone without casting any judgment at all will make a world of difference. I invite you to play with that and to have fun with that. So ways of being intimate are gazing into someone's eyes, having a meaningful conversation, sharing sacred space, sharing time. And in this conversation, sometimes it's okay if it is just one person that's doing the talking and the other person is completely is just listening. It's a matter of creating this element of trust and building upon that. Now, if you have the courage to take me up on this challenge and to find someone to do this with, I further challenge you to make a note in the comments afterward and let us know how it went. You don't have to share who this engagement was with, but I would love to hear some feedback as to how the experience went for you. And I would encourage you to just keep trying, keep doing it, and build that muscle. So that is our intimacy discussion for the week. Physical intimacy, so short-lived, difficult to maintain on a regular basis for most people, whereas a gentle, loving gaze, you can do that almost anywhere with anyone, even someone that you meet in a coffee shop. You can set the intent to see them and let them feel appreciated. So have fun with that. And as many of you know, if you've been on this before, there is usually a worksheet that is offered at the end of every Facebook Live. So it gives you some tools to integrate the material from the week. Well, this week it's going to be a little bit different. So I had this inspiration to put something together and I finished it today and I'm really excited to share with you. So hopefully you'll be just as excited about it. So I've created this set of insights that may be useful to you. It's called 10 Signs You're on the Cusp of a Huge Breakthrough and what you can do. So if that's anything that's of interest to you, and I guarantee there'll be at least one insight in there that will be completely out of the box that you hadn't considered before. So go to LeslieKarenHammond.com / let me look and make sure I get it right, /10 signs. So again, if you're interested in the 10 signs that you're on the cusp of a huge breakthrough and what to do, then go to LeslieKarenHammond.com /10, and that's 10, numerical 10, 10 signs. Yes, 10 signs. So short and sweet this week. I am grateful you took time to tune in, and if you're catching us on the replay, thanks for watching. Please feel free to share this with someone who you believe might benefit, and like the page Healing Through Your Story while you're here. And if you are a fan of Daily Inspiration, we have a great Facebook group called Divine by Design. I would invite you to check it out. I will put a link for that in the comments below, and have an absolutely extraordinary week, and we'll see you next week. All right. Mwah. Lots of love and light. Bye for now.